Greetings, travelers, and welcome to episode 53 of WesteroScraft Walks with your swelteringly handsome host, the Dutch Guard. In today's episode, we'll be taking a look around Salt Shore, the seat of House Gargolin in Dorne, which you may have worked out based on the enormous amounts of sand around us here, and these beautiful Dornish dunes which stretch out into the northern horizon. We are on the southern coast of Dorne, just on the coast of the Summer Sea, and we're about to explore a really cool build. It's a house we don't really know much about. The books don't tell us much about House Gargolin or Salt Shore. We just know they're a major house. We know that their sigil is this really awesome chicken-looking thing eating a snake, and they're just probably really badass based on just that. And they've got a really cool build here going on. You can see the outline of the silhouette of the castle Salt Shore in the distance there, but we'll take a look at the town first, which I think is a beauty. This is one of our more recently completed builds. On my left here, we've got a caravanserai, which is a sort of inn for the different traveling bands of Dornishmen and Dornish women traveling across the deserts of Dorne. So you've got lots of stables here for their horses. You've got rooms as well in the town, as well as in here somewhere for them to stay in, as long as lots of public eating areas and nice kitchens for cooking up some fresh food, as well as you often find in these caravanserais, these wells in the middle of these central courtyards. Of course, because water is super important in this extra hot climate. And I think it's pretty appropriate we're in Dorne today. It's one of the hottest days that I've experienced so far this year, and I'm dying. I'm literally sweating out of every orifice in my body, and I thought, what better place to go check out than one of the hottest places in Westeros, which is where we are now, on the southern coast of Dorne, which I imagine would be the hottest, and probably the closest to the equatorial line of whatever planet Westeros is on. And here we've got the back of the caravanserai. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but just sort of going based on the spelling. And around here we've got some beautiful Dornish houses with those beautiful plaster textures that we've created specifically for Dorne. And here in Salt Shore we've got sort of our token blue slate textures, which they've decided to keep as a theme of the town, which I think ties it all very nicely together. You've got a better picture there of the castle of Salt Shore. You can make out those Dornish domes, which we're all very fond of, and those beautiful sandstone towers there as well. We've got some beautiful ships here on the docks as well. Who knows where these guys are from? Just based on the colors, that might be a Lannister ship, though it doesn't look like a Lannister ship. Oh, it could. Oh, there's a griffin there. If anyone knows where that ship comes from, let me know. It looks like we've got a lighthouse here as well. This is sort of the entrance to the harbor here. Maybe we can head up that lighthouse just to get a cool view of the town. I think that's a good idea. So let's head up here. There's another ship just parked out in the bay there. Another cool set of colors there, sort of gray and yellow. Very nice. So yeah, House Gargolin, unfortunately there isn't a lot of canon to talk about. We know that where they are in Dorne. We know that Doran Martell, who some of you may be familiar with from the books and the TV show actually, squired for Lord Gargolin at some point when he was a child. And the current Lord of Salt Shore is Lord Tremond Gargolin, but we don't really know anything other than that. They haven't really made any appearances so far, but then again, Dorne as a whole hasn't made many appearances so far in the series, although I'm assuming they will come more into play, especially in the TV series now that we've actually gotten into Dorne. We'll see a lot more of the Dornish, which is definitely one of my favorite race of people of Westeros, and one of my favorite regions of Westeros as well. You can see that caravanserai in the distance there, and a really cool view of the castle, which we'll be exploring in just a bit. I have not scouted ahead this time, which may be foolish, because that is quite a large castle, perched on these beautiful cliffs, which of course have been completely hand terraformed with love and care. And yeah, so let's get down from this lighthouse before I burn myself on this beacon, and we'll find our way through the town, probably see some pretty cool houses, some inns. I'm expecting to find some cool professions for people that work there as well. I have started to make these videos longer, so I'm definitely not trying to keep things short. I'm just going to walk around and try and find some cool things to show you guys. Here we've got a Savas table, which is actually one of the oldest textures we have. I remember this was actually a piston variant back when we didn't have our custom launcher, and people would use this table for all kinds of things. It used to really annoy me because It's specifically for playing Savas, so you can sort of tell the different colored squares are like a big checkerboard. We don't really know what a Savas board looks like, but that's kind of our closest approximation based on the descriptions of how they play in the books. Oh, actually, Salt Shore. Here we've got loads of salt being loaded or unloaded at the docks here, maybe from this ship. And yeah, I'm guessing salt is pretty important, maybe an export anyway, to the north for preserving, of course, meat and all kinds of food, actually. So let's check out this rather modest Salt Shore home here. Looks like we've got a caravan in here, a wagon of sorts. Actually, this might just be a stable. I'm seeing some stable stalls here with lots of disused, what do you call those again? Hoofs for the horses. Horseshoes, I should say. And, well, it looks like we might have a living area as well. Is this a well? Yeah, that's a well down there. This looks like, I don't know, we've got some cool banners here. This looks like a living area for sure. Could even be actually a tavern. We've got a Savas table here now with some money on the table. They're probably placing some serious bets. The Dornish strike me as a culture of serious bettors here. We've got a nice little kitchen here. Beautiful little hearth there. Of course, there's a custom texture for the furnaces we have in Dorne. Of course, we've also got these wooden window frames here, which are sort of these wooden lattice kind of things for letting the air in. Unlike what I'm doing in my room right now, because to keep the sound of the outside away, I've had to close my windows and turn off my fan. So, once again, I hope I make it through the filming of this video without passing out, but hopefully we'll be alright. I've got a glass of water here, just in case. But, you know, this is what I put on the line for you guys, you know? Really struggling out here. I'm a suffering artist. Okay, anyway. Back to the build, the more important part. Oh, cool, really love these privacy screens here, leading into this, you know, I don't know what this is, maybe a clerk's room or a bookie's room. Really, really nice creative use of these window shutters here, very, very cool. We've got some nice decorations here. We've got our personalized custom parchment textures, which I think we've used really, really well in some of our builds, and not too often, because, you know, there aren't that many people who can actually write, let alone read, in Westeros. Cool little room up here as well. Love the spices and stuff drying from the ceiling here. You're going to see that a lot in Dorne as well. Beautiful little, you kind of make use of those window shutters again to get out onto this little terrace. This little porch here, which is great. Nice little view of the harbor as well as the castle up there. So I'm gonna see if I can make my way around to that castle now. We are slowly but surely making our way there. So this must be a pretty, you know, the home of someone who's pretty well off. They've got a pretty big house here. I think what we need to do is head up here, and oh, there's a nice little secret path, which is inconveniently blocked by this laundry. Come on! Someone did not test this. Let's even get down there. Whoop! Okay, there's not much down here. There's like a nice little private door here to get in, and we're back in the house where we started. But yeah, let's get back out, and we're gonna continue our way up. Cool little, looks like a little market frontage here for maybe a grocery store. Lots of baskets full of different fruits. We have a huge variety of baskets and stuff for in baskets and barrels and crates and all kinds of things, because we really want to, you know, it's one of the only things we can do to give places more color and to give people a sense of economy and trade, and, you know, like you can actually go out and buy varieties of food and not just the same, you know, smoked fish or, you know, cabbage everywhere. Oh, this looks kind of cool, like it's sort of built into the side of this dune here, or sort of this stonework here, kind of cropping up into the middle of the house. If I go around here, I might actually see, yeah, it is sort of built into the side of this little rock outcrop here, under the caravanserai, which is pretty cool. I love that when houses make use of sort of the natural terrain. You get that a lot in the Vale, of course, because of the mountains there. Alright, so slowly making our way around. We've got a nice little market area here with a few market stalls. Got some sour leaf hanging from these stalls here. Lots of crates again of full of different things. I don't even know what that is, like magic fairy dust. It's probably lavender, actually. Looks like maybe some plums or blueberries, some cabbage in there. You know, all different colors for all different goods. Oh, it looks like even like a flower. This looks like a real grocer's in here. Like really fully blown, all kinds of stuff in here, whatever you want. It's like the, you know, it's like the Tesco's. It's like the Tesco's of Westeros in here. Or the, what's the American equivalent? Like the Walgreens. It's like Walgreens. Love it. Great, of course, because every town needs sort of those, you know, those few things that you know, you need to sort of get on, you know, you need to get your food sources, you know, your protection from the elements, and of course you need your baskets and pots, which is apparently what this store sells. Of course, they've got a nice variety here. Looks like they've got some clay and maybe this looks like I don't know, is there a spinning wheel around here? I'd like to see a really creatively thought up spinning wheel, but this is a furnace anyway. Of course, we're cooking those clay pots. Very cool, you know, very detailed. We've got some more clay sitting out in the back here. Alright, looks like we're heading up to the main gates of Saltshore here. Now, see, I think Saltshore is really the name for the area, but the castle has a different name, but we just haven't heard of it yet. Oh, cool, very cool little lavender store here. I do love big lavender fields, in real life as well. I just love lavender fields. Just lavender, beautiful color, and, yeah, it just really adds a sort of spice up to the terrain. Of course, in Dorne, you're not going to see a lot of farms and fields, but they make their living through other ways, as we've seen in the books. Cool little cauldron full of water there, very nice. And just want to head up the stairs to see some more living quarters. Nice double bed, lots of books here, maybe too many books. I might be pushing it there. Might leave some feedback on this house in a bit. No, I won't really. We've got some more beds here for maybe for servants or and maybe the children or, you know, whatever. More Savas tables. Must be fans of Savas here in Saltshore. We've got another level here as well with yet another bed chamber. We've got a cool little variety of stuff hanging out here. Got some laundry hanging from the ceiling. More Savas going on. You know, maybe do you think they ever get bored of playing Savas? I mean, I've never actually played it, and I don't think we actually know what the rules of Savas are, but I can't imagine that playing it all day is really going to satisfy all of your entertainment needs. But anyway, let's keep heading on towards the castle. Nice view there. You can see those beautiful Dornish shapes. It's lots of square, you know, pointy edges with sort of a mixture of sandstone. You can see the dark at the bottom here, and it usually heads up to a lighter gradient up near the top. I don't know what's around here. If we go down this way... Oh, cool. There's like a little secret cove here, like a little smuggler's cove. Davos would be a fan. Looks like just a little dock here for getting in some little canoes and... you know, maybe smuggling some stuff in and out of Saltshore. Very nifty. Love that little detail. And beautiful terraforming again. I love that natural rock archway just over the little entrance, that inlet. Very cool, very scenic. Love it. Right, so we're going to head around. Oh, we've stumbled into a butcher shop, a very stinky butcher shop by the looks of it. And, I don't know if I can get out. I think that was the only entrance, actually. Yeah, must be. But, oh, cool, very cool, all the same. I do love a butcher shop. It's one of those things that every town needs. So just jumping over these sacks of flour here, and looks like we're now on the main road into the castle of Saltshore. I don't know, what should we call it? Since I don't think the castle really is called Saltshore, I'm going to call it Salthelm. I don't know. We've got some white plaster there for the detailing. Nice contrast there with the sandstone. Of course, you can see there the colors of House Gargolin. The red, yellow, and black. Very cool, very weird sigil. I recommend you look it up because it's weird. The Dornish sigils are actually very interesting because they're all, or most of them anyway, are circles as opposed to the standard sort of shield shapes for the rest of Westeros. So they do have a unique sort of style to them, and it gives Dorne that extra kind of independent look, which is sort of heralds back to their very independent spirit. Right, so here we are in the, looks like that might be a second yard here for the castle, but back here would be the main outer yard for assembling the forces and such. We got a main entrance there into probably a hall, but before we go in there, I just want to check out these outbuildings. Outbuildings which are, of course, the buildings surrounding that central keep there. It looks like we've got a blacksmith and an armorer in here. Very cool, lots of iron about. We've got a forge here as well as some anvils for hammering away those swords. Very cool. What else we got? If we head up here, we're probably going out to these outer walls and these outer defenses. We just recently added in this cool new block for adding these cool wide windows into these Dornish builds. Definitely adds a new level of detail. Really love it. So yeah, we must be now in the inside of the walls, and I'm guessing the gatehouse as well, which we'll get to if we were to head up the stairs there. Alright, so just heading around. I think there's another well here. I'm not really sure why they're always covered in nets in Dorne, but presumably to keep people from falling in. I'm not sure why the Dornish are more prone to falling into wells than the rest of Westeros, but there you go. It's something to ask some of the builders. Right, so we've got a nice little... I don't know what this is actually. Probably just maybe some guest quarters or something like that. Oh, it might be a barracks, actually. based on the amount of armor I'm seeing here. And looks like this is the main portcullis function here. If we just head over these big beams, I'm guessing if you were to swap that lever to the up position, you'd probably see these gates go down in this case. We do have a portcullis mod which raises and lowers portcullises. I don't know if it's working at the minute, but it will do for the role-playing game aspect of the server anyway. Right, so I think it's time to head into these main gates, which are very impressive. Do love cool door designs. This is pretty cool. Use of barrels and colored planks of wood here. Very cool. You're going to see those banners for the colors of House Gargolin around here. Some suits of armor. Very, very neat. Got some carpets in those colors as well. We're just going to find the most obvious route into this castle here. Beautiful little central yard here. We'll check that out in a minute. We'll save the best for last, but it looks like we've got a little audience chamber here using those beautiful mosaic backsplash blocks which we custom created for Dorne. And they really add that little spice of flavor and that color that we really need in Dornish builds, because usually it's just kind of the same, you know, Dornish sand, dun-colored kind of textures here, but we do have those like beautiful white pillars, the marble here, and the beautiful backsplash there. Yeah, it really adds that flavor, and it's got some really great connected textures there as well. So big props to the texture artists on that one. Let's see, we'll head in there in a minute. I just want to show you this little courtyard first. We've got a nice little like a garden in here with this you know, courtyard open to the sky, but we have got these protections from the shade here, these little overhangs, these awnings for protecting the noble family from the royal heat stroke, or whatever you want to call it. Right, okay, we're just walking around here, going through here, more suits of armor, really like it. I don't know how much, you know, metal armor the Dornish actually use, considering the heat. I don't think I've actually ever seen a Dornish warrior wear too much metal armor anyway. It tends to be mostly cloth. The metal's usually saved for the helmet, if anything. So going into here, we're definitely going to find that feast hall in here that we've been looking for. Very cool, and you can see these detailed sandstone blocks, which you've again custom created for Dorne. Adds a lot of cool detail and texture, and we've got the sunburst here, of course, for Sunspear, and of course just sort of the universal symbol for Dorne. We've got the Lord's Dais up here, very cool, where Lord Gargolin would sit and watch over his court. Very nice, cool little chandelier there as well. Right, so we're just gonna head up, find some stairs. So let's go up the stairs. And it looks like on the second levels here, the walls have turned white, so there's white plaster and this white marble columns around here. Very cool. For the noble quarters, I'm assuming. We've got sort of a tactics room here, a strategy room, just based on the map of Westeros and Essos there. And lots of papers on the table. Also lots of high-backed chairs. And, you know, just kind of regal surroundings, as is befitting a Lord of Dorne. Oh, wait, that's quite interesting. We've got a Savas table built into the floor. Of course, the Dornish, I think, are quite fond of sitting low to the ground, I think, to preserve, you know, body heat at night or something. I just made that up. But we do get lots of cushions for sitting on the floor around Dorne as well. We've got more of that beautiful colored mosaic there. Excellent stuff, really beautifully detailed. And here we've got some privies, looks like. Beautiful privies. Of course, every good castle needs some privies. Otherwise, you know, you've got your lord pooping out in the street, and that's just, you know, that just doesn't work. Got some chambers in here. Looks like for someone who's pretty well learned. We've got some books here, as well as a few more cabinets full of, you know, curios and curiosities and all that good stuff. Right, so I did see some stairs back here, so let's keep heading up some stairs. Stairs, stairs, stairs. Yes, stairs. Also, just pointing this out, very cool. We created this custom candles texture for our Great Sept of the Baelor and the new King's Landing that we're building, and it's actually come in handy for these little candelabras that we've started building around Westeros, and just looks really cool, really convincing. Just love, again, using these textures that we've created for specific areas, but finding the flexibility in them to use them elsewhere as well. In here looks like, I mean, I'm seeing books everywhere. Like, the Gargolins must just be like bookworms, absolute bookworms, or they're all been like maester trained. This definitely looks like some noble chambers in here, or at least a noble sitting room. Lots of cool banners in the colors of the Gargolins again. Right, so getting around, we've got a little study in here. What else we got? Some more sitting places, some more Savas, and oh cool, nice little balcony out here for a view over the Summer Sea, I think. Yeah, there we go, the Summer Sea, being called that, I think, purely because it's the sea that separates Westeros from the Summer Isles. We did just recently do a summer contest for the Summer Isles, and if you want to go check that out, just /warp summer contest. We've got some pretty cool little builds, little vignettes representing what the Summer Isles might look like in Minecraft. Some pretty cool interpretations there. It's, you know, contests are the kinds of things that we like to do to keep people involved, and there's some pretty cool prizes as well, so it's always worth entering. Looks like we've got a little sept down there as well, just based on the colors and the shape of that building. Obviously, I'm not going to jump down or I'll hurt myself. I know some of you have been requesting that I do flyovers of these builds, but you know what? If anything, you should log onto the server and do it yourself. It'll be motivation for you to get our launcher and check it out for yourself. It's totally worth it. You can always check it out on the live map as well. That's not a bad view. If you don't know where the live map is, just go to our homepage and you'll just click map on the top navigation bar there. Right, so we're going to keep trying to head up, trying to find the tallest tower there. I reckon it's that one, so let's head over that way. Around this courtyard that I think we were down in below before. And there we've got our other mosaic backsplash variant, so the green and blue there. Very nice, very pretty, adds a lot of detail. Right, here we are back in the War Tactics room. We want to go around this way. Were we here before? Oh my goodness, I'm getting lost again. I'm getting lost. Hang on, let's get back out here. I'm going to find the best tower. That looks like a cool tower. That looks like the tower that we were just in. I don't know where... let's go in this tower. I don't think I've been in this one yet. So, right. So, we gotta get in here. We gotta go up. And we're gonna find the stairs up. Where are the stairs? There we go. Nice grand spiral staircase. Very love that. Very love that. Oh, that's a new one. I very love this. I very love all of it. This is definitely Maester Chambers. You can always tell by the blood spatters and the dead skulls. Dead skulls as opposed to living ones, I suppose. Yeah, Maester's bedding. Now, this is interesting, because Maesters, I suppose, don't officially take the colors or the name of the house they serve, so that must be why the bedding is quite bland there. Again, I just made that up, but very cool star chart here. This actually might be the first time we're seeing the full 2x2 star chart on the wall here. There is actually a bigger version of this as well, believe it or not, but that's a pretty good one. Of course, star chart, very important for the Maesters, for navigation and for prophecies and all that good stuff. Of course, Westeros, being the quite archaic society it is, probably has lots of mythos surrounding the stars and the Seven and all that good stuff. We've got a pretty good view out in the town that we've just explored, that caravanserai in there, and the lighthouse which we were exploring just before there. And you can see all that salt pile on the docks there as well. I do love the views and some of the renders that we do get from these builds. Very, very cool. And again, highly encourage you to come check out this build. It is Salt Shore again, for those of you that may have missed it. Salt Shore, a very cool build. Now, we are in the Maesters, so you know what I'm looking for. It's got to be around here somewhere. And I think it's going to be right around the corner somewhere. It's there somewhere. It's got to be. I mean, there's a cage. That's definitely a raven's cage. There we go. Well, that was close. I thought for a second I was going to be disappointed. I was like, the builder who built this normally does really good stuff, but, you know, if you missed the rookery, you know, I don't even know why it was worth doing a video. But here we are, we're in the rookery, very cool. Even the ravens are getting some pretty stellar treatment up here. Looks like they've got some pretty swish interior decorating in here. Nice map of Westeros, of course. We're trying to figure out where to send the different letters. I still don't know how they do that. Like, there's no real explanation, unless the ravens are like sentient and like really clever and somehow know where everything is in Westeros. But there you go. Very cool view here from the rookery, from this little pedestal where the maester sort of flings the ravens out of the tower. Flings, that's kind of a nice image. Pew, there you go. Be on your way. Anyway, so here we are out on the... I don't know what this is. Well, it's an interesting wall block. Anyway, I'll make sure someone comes and checks that out. We do, of course, miss things here and there, so in your adventures, if you ever see something odd, then do just let someone know, and we'll fix it. Right, we've got some bells up here as well, which are pretty cool. Some bells for perhaps notifying the town of danger. And I'm going to head up this ladder. We might actually get to a really cool view. Yes! Finally, a tower. I can actually get to the top of the tower and show you a pretty slick-looking view of the town. We've got another caravanserai. You can see just on the left there. If I look right at it, well, let me see it, but it's just in the corner there, a round one over there. We're looking down on the harbor here with the beautiful different ships and the town, which is pretty extensive. You know, I've got another sept out in the distance there, and you can see down here, down onto the castle. And, you know, it's a really cool layout. Love the different levels and the different details being put into the merlons, especially these spikes lining the sides of this level here, this tower. Very cool. Love the use of the detail here as well, the detail blocks. And that's it, guys. I think well, I hope you've really enjoyed this video. I love the Dornish builds. They do tend to be newer builds and look better for that reason, but it's also just a unique style, and I think some of our builders have really embraced it and took it to new heights. And we do have lots of other Dornish builds coming up. If there's anything you particularly want to see, then do just leave a comment below, and I will get to it. So anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching, and I will see you next time for episode 54.